Hi guys, I'm John. Alton's still out hunting, so guess who's here? Barbara's here, so she's going to join us. This is the Deciding Factor Extra show, so this is separate from our normal podcast. This is simply just us getting in trouble and trying to still have some dignity left in the end.
Speak for yourself.
I am speaking for myself. I'm getting in trouble left and right, but at least I got my Superman Texas shirt on. So
let's see if that helps.
So this segment today is going to be another one of our ThinkFast segments. It's where we're just going to ask some questions. We're going to answer it right off the top of our head and hope to try not to offend too many people. Or at least that's my goal. What about you?
Yep, I'm still saying speak for yourself. As long as we have fun, I'm good.
So these extra segments can be a variety of different things, but as stated, this will be Think Fast. Guys, this is the Deciding Factor Extra.
Bringing you their thoughts on today's news and current events. Coming to you from Austin, Texas, this is the Deciding Factor Extra. With your hosts, Alton Hill and John Herzog.
Guys, thanks for joining us again. Welcome to the Deciding Factor Extra. Keep in mind, the Deciding Factor podcast is still airing every Monday. These segments are just an add-on, just to have fun and see if we can grab your attention and see what kind of trouble can happen from it. So we've come up with some questions. This will be our Think Fast segment, and we're just going to tell you our thoughts and our feelings on it. And this is not the first episode of it, so make sure you go back and listen and watch some of our other shows that we've done thus far. And I think both me and Barb have both destroyed our marriages so far, so we're doing pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Or they don't know it yet. They might after they see it on Facebook. So
they might be done listening to us, though. That might be the possibility.
Yeah. Well, my wife said she was done listening to any of my podcasts after our marriage podcast. So
whatever. See, you're in the clear. On we go.
All right. So you put in probably one of the weirdest questions I've seen. Your birthday countdowns is your math wrong? Explain this question to me.
You say all of my questions are weird. It doesn't even faze me anymore. Okay, but this is a serious one. So let's suppose, and this came up because John did just have a birthday. Okay, so this is on the radar. How you count down to the birthdays, okay? And this is not even counting down to how old he is now, because I don't have that many fingers. But suppose that your birthday's on Friday, right? And like if today is Tuesday, your birthday's on Friday. You tell me, John, how many days are till your birthday from Tuesday to Friday?
I have... Let's see, what's today? Tuesday. So I have 3 days until my birthday.
I would say you have 2.
Oh, so you're not counting today?
Well, yeah, I figure it's like Monopoly rules, right? You never count the day that you're on, and you don't count the day that you're waiting for, because when you actually get to your birthday, it's like, it's my birthday, I'm not waiting anymore, right? So you only count the days in the middle.
See, I don't even count down. Like it's, hey, on Monday, my birthday is coming. Make sure you're around or whatever. But I mean, I don't.
Did you never count down?
Birthdays are just kind of another day. Yeah, I might get a present or something like that. But you asked my wife that, she's like, no, your birthday is more important than anything. And if you forget it, you might not have a marriage anymore. So
I have a feeling your wife and I would get along. It's just a hunch that I have. I think birthdays are a huge deal. Like,
too, right?
Yeah, like I think you should count down to your birthdays. Otherwise, I mean, what kind of birthday Scrooge would you be if you're not going to count down to the? I think.
But okay, so do you do the whole month or do you just do the day? Or
well, okay.
My wife is a month, and I'll get half the day on my birthday.
It's when do we start counting? I don't think it's official. I think it's more like when it hits your radar, like, oh, it's 6 months to the day till my birthday, and you get to do that counting. And I don't know. It's just, but I get heckled a lot about how I count it because, my husband will say like, you got about a week till your birthday, or like, oh no, there's 5 days till my birthday. And he's can see I homeschool. And so it has had him question on occasion whether or not my kids are all going to be delinquent mathematicians because of the birthday countdown. I think it probably makes them more intuitive mathematicians that know how to celebrate things.
Interesting. Okay, so we talked about this next question on one of our podcasts. In fact, it was your first podcast with us, and it is the fact of toilet paper.
We talked about that on the podcast? Wow.
Well, I'm glad we're that important that you remember our podcast. No, so the question is, toilet paper, does it go over or under?
Over. Drives me crazy when people stick it under.
Yes. I'm the same way, because if you pull it under, there's like no tearing mechanism and it just keeps coming and coming. You make a mess.
Exactly. Or if it's like the middle of the night and you're not totally awake anyway, you can't ever find the edge of it. And you just keep spinning it over and over again. The physics of it bothers me.
Yes. Yes. Funny thing as it is, like I mentioned on the show, there's this show called 100 Humans on Netflix. They actually discuss that question, and the majority of people actually do the over. So we are in the good. So if you don't like it that way, then you're just weird. And
well, that's a first. I think I always am in the minority. So that's nice.
All right. So this next question, it comes down to the bedroom, right? Whenever you lay in bed, when you first get married or move in together, the guy or husband, should he sleep closer to the door or furthest from the door? Or does that not matter?
I have literally never thought about this, but I'm going to think about it now. Hold on. So he has always slept closer to the door. Huh.
So, you know, are you looking at, hey, I want the left side or the right side, or are you looking at the door versus away from the door?
Yeah, I think when we first got married, it was just so novel that we probably didn't think about it at all. And so, yeah, I'm not going to make this graphic. Sides probably didn't matter. So, yeah, I think he ended up mostly, although, yeah, it's left side, right side. That's actually how it ends up being, because I can think of different houses. I will say, so is the idea that if the husband should be closer to the door, that it's like a protection thing, like if someone's going to come in, that first line of defense, is that like the sidewalk theory that men should always, is that where this is going?
Well, let me start from the beginning, and I'll answer your question when I get through. So when it's always come to me, I've always slept closest to the door, whether it's the right side or the left side, doesn't really matter. I've always ended up somehow, some way, sleeping closer to the door. However, when I moved in with either of my wives, it was always, I needed to be by the door. That way, if somebody broke in, they have to go through me before they'll reach her. Or if they try to get to the kids, I'll be able to hopefully get there a lot faster, right? That's what I tell them. But secretly, if that house burns down, I'm the first one out that door. So
that's where I was afraid this was going. So John has an escape route.
And I'm sticking to it. And yes, we're not going to share this podcast ever.
This has been a great idea. No, the ThinkFast, it's a great idea.
All right. So I'm going to give you another twist to a question. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Is cereal a soup?
I can't answer it without asking a question. Is that allowed in the rule book?
No, it's not allowed. You can't ask. You can't ask a question about my question.
Otherwise, I really do. Who in the world says that cereal is soup? Seriously, give me one. Is it you? Do you say that cereal is soup?
I'm not answering the question yet. I'm waiting for you to destroy this topic.
Cereal soup? No. What soup in the world do you pour milk on top of?
I don't know.
Nothing. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. And whatever kid was trying to tell you that, like, look, we could just have Lucky Charms for dinner. It's soup, is pulling your leg.
Okay. So when you go to Olive Garden and you can do the unlimited soup, right? They have one of those. What is it? Is it the chicken and dumpling? What do they call it? They've got the dumplings in them, right? Do you know what I'm
You're way out of my league. I haven't gone to Olive Garden in years. So
Okay. Anyway, they do have, it's like a chicken and dumpling type soup that you can order, and it's part of the soup menu. They put heavy cream in that soup. We have made it at our house because we love that soup so much. So, to answer the question you threw in there, yeah,
in the soup, yes.
But
in the soup, but not like cooking it in the soup. But you're talking, unless you actually cook your cereal with milk. Do you cook your cereal with milk?
Well, I don't cook my cereal.
That's my point.
I'm sure there's weird people out there that pour hot milk in their cereal. Have you ever tried water in cereal? It is disgusting. You run out of milk, and that's like your only option, or you have to eat it dry.
I've done it with apple juice too. It's different.
Apple juice? Why?
Yeah. Apple juice and grape nuts. It was a thing my grandpa introduced me to.
And you were so weird.
I didn't say I liked it. Just said that I tried it.
No, so someone presented that question to me. I have never answered that question. I honestly don't know how to answer it, but in theory, you're adding a liquid to something that is a solid of some sort.
It's the cooking, because if by that logic, if it's just adding liquid, then Jello is soup, because you add liquid to Jello powder and that mix. So I think it's the cooking.
That's a powder. That's not a solid.
You eat at the bottom of the cereal box, that's powder too.
Okay, so we'll go with cereal is not a soup.
I think cereal is not a soup.
Whoever came up with that question is freakishly weird. So we'll move on with that one.
Hey, but we finally agreed on something. That's nice.
High fives. Hey, so the last question I have for you is kind of weird, but we're going to get through this one together, okay?
As opposed to all the other ones that aren't weird at all.
And I reckon we'll probably get in trouble for this. What is the sexiest and least sexy name?
Oh, that's a little too easy.
It's easy. Okay. What do you have?
My name is obviously the most sexy, and see, I'm not even gonna say. Never mind. No, it's the least sexy. Sexy is in the confidence of the name bearer. That's what I think. So you could totally have a Walter that comes across sexy, right? Because he's confident. Like, I suppose you could have a I don't know. What are yours? What are your least sexy?
Oh man.
Every name that I've thought like, oh, that's the end all, it can be ruined by somebody, and similarly, a name can be made by somebody. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm gonna go with Dick. Dick is probably the least sexy name, right? So
I can think of an exception.
What?
That's gonna bother me. I mean, you don't know him, but I can think of an exception where it's like, nope, that works.
I don't know if I should tell you to go on, but I guess I have to.
I'm just saying, like,
they're gonna want to hear.
You'd have to define sexy. Like, you'd have to either say, like, there's either, because we've got somebody in mind if you're thinking it.
Is?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're either like gonna look at someone or see how they carry themselves, and you'll find out afterwards that their name is, Finnegan, and be like, wow, that's Finnegan, But it's already decided. The name has nothing to do with it.
Very interesting. I honestly think Jessica has always been pretty good. But yes, it is weird to think, is that the most sexy name I've ever heard?
Yeah, because all my associations with Jessica.
Not. When I think of Jessica's, I'm like, dang, when have I had an ugly girl that I've ever known named Jessica? Like Jessica Biel? Holy crap.
See, but you already have a picture in your mind. That's okay. So here's my follow-up. If you did pick a name that you decided was like the sexiest or least sexy name, would you name your child that?
So I actually had a thing for the name Katie, but now that I named my daughter that could never be the most sexy name I've ever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's either inherently ruins the name or or it makes the name. Like,
Yeah, Barb is definitely not a sexy one. I will give you that.
You are so wrong. You are so wrong. Have you never seen Barbara Bush? Good grief.
Hey, but that's okay. I'm named after a toilet, so it's not like I can say anything more. I mean, that would probably be one of the others least sexy names, right?
Technically, I think it's probably named after you.
But you said Walter, so guess what? My middle name's Walter, so ha ha.
Is it really?
So you think I'm sexy? How about that?
How about that? I actually didn't know that. That's really funny. Could have picked another name.
We're either going to get really great reports from this, or everybody's going to think we're weird.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, because Jim Carrey has always been kind of weird. But dang, he makes some pretty good movies, right?
Yeah. Talk about a not sexy name, though. It's never made me want to name anybody Jim.
Jim Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I definitely think that names have associations, though. I had a whole bunch of names from high school that I'm like, I'm sorry, can't ever name anybody that. Like, I have negative associations with that. I think if I name you that, you're going to end up being this monster that kicks chairs, and, you know, it's just funny how we have those things stick in your mind. Like, I picture a certain thing. People debate about that. If we name someone, you know, a certain name, will it influence who they become? Do you think it's true?
Not totally. I mean, the world has changed so much. I probably would have said that differently back in the day. No, this world's going to crap, so I don't think it really matters. I mean,
okay, fair enough.
I mean, if you can walk in with a mohawk and all these other colorful additives to it and still get positions that they offer in the world, yeah, name is definitely not going to play a role. Neither are tattoos.
Colorful additives? I don't even.
Yeah, you know what color additives are.
Yeah, and somehow I got a job on the deciding factor. So.
All right. Well, that seems to be all I've got for this one. Anything you want to add?
No, I'm just pleased to know that both of us are so doggone sexy today.
No, I'm sexy. You're least sexy, apparently.
You're so wrong. I just don't even know how to.
You said it, not me.
I said mine was the most sexy. I said yours.
You said Barb is most sexy?
Yes, I did. I started with that. You know what? You're going to go back and replay this. And you're going to see Barbara is like the number one. Barbara Streisand, even if she spells it wrong. Number one sexy.
Oh, I'm going to hate myself. If you really said you thought that Barb was sexy. And
I said that. Why would I not have?
Thinking you said the Oh, man. We're getting.
I might have said your name wasn't sexy. That's possible. But
I'm okay with that. I get it. All right, guys. It was fun. It was awkward. It'll be even more awkward after we get off the air. So cheers. Everybody, make sure you catch our regular podcast, the Deciding Factor podcast. This is just our extra, so we're just having fun and seeing what kind of trouble we can get in. But make sure you click like and subscribe. Share your comments, your feedback. We need everything we can get from you. And we appreciate your time and listening. And y'all stay tuned. Barb, say bye.
See you later.
This has been another episode of the Deciding Factor Extra, giving you food for thought on real-life issues. Be sure to click, like, and subscribe to this podcast, as well as all your big social media outlets, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Don't forget to check out our website, thedecidingfactorpodcast.com, and give us comments and feedback. Until next time, stay safe and keep an open mind.